So, of course, that was high five, hard to get. In the process of all that's going on in Houston, we're seeing, like I said earlier, staggering acts of kindness, and people are showing up, and they are digging in. It is amazing to me how we seem to believe that we have the market cornered on doing the right things. When you show up to help your neighbor, it is laudable, but you're supposed to do it. That's not called being American exceptionalism. That's humanity. When you see someone in trouble, it is human of you to reach out to them and to try to help. That's human. I mean, you don't have to be just an American. People in Sierra Leone were trying to dig their friends out of metric tons of mud with just their bare hands wearing flip-flops. So just the idea that you help a person doesn't make you exceptional. It makes you human, which is even better than exceptional to me. But meanwhile, in the midst of everybody praying for Houston, do you know that there would have been a law that would have been enacted? It's called SB4, and it is the most repressive immigration laws in the country. It would provide, had a judge not stated, it would provide that a police officer can question the immigration status of any person that they arrest and they've detained for whatever reason, even doing routine traffic stops, and it create a system of harsh penalties for those who try to materially limit immigration enforcement, including removal from office for elected or appointed officials, criminal and misdemeanor charges for sheriffs and other law enforcement officers. So in other words, we wrote this law, and if you don't live up to it, if you don't obey it, if you don't enact it, then you are subject to penalty of law yourself. So there's sanctuary cities who don't want to enact the laws. So I think Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston is one of them. They don't want to enact these laws. So they were at odds. So this law would have gone in place absent Harvey had a judge not stated. That would have been the law. And people would have had to ask people the immigration status where they were pulling them out of water. Let me see do you have the right to be here? Let me see your papers. I'm sorry, officer, they're wet right now. That would have been going on. And I don't think they stopped this law. The judge stayed this law because they had a crisis of conscience. I think they did it because it would have been embarrassing to have all the world praying for you and pulling for you and reaching out for you while you were in fact being racist. It would have been going from Texas strong to Texas wrong real quick. So it isn't what you do when it's wet. It isn't what you do when times are hard. You are supposed to be empathic. You are supposed to reach out to people. It's when the sun comes out and everything dries up. When everything is almost back to normal, do you still enact this law? The very people who you were pulling out of the rainwater, who you were praying for, who you were providing clothes for, do you now enact this law? My old man says the character is what you do in the dark. I submit the character is what you do in the light when everybody can see it. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.